So, what would happen if you ate 5 whole eggs every single day for a month? I'm talking about a full on 30-day transformation happening inside your body. Big changes to your blood, your brain, your metabolism. Let's get into exactly what that looks like. Now, that might sound like a pretty bold claim, right? But we're talking about a kind of change that drug companies literally charge thousands of dollars to try and replicate. So how on earth can a simple food, something you can get from any grocery store, pull off such a massive biological shift? Well, let's find out. We're going to break this whole thing down week by week. First up, we'll talk about the egg conspiracy. There's one critical thing you absolutely have to know before you start. Then we'll look at week 1 and what happens to your hunger. Week 2 is when the brain really wakes up. Week 3, we'll get into the protein advantage. And finally, week 4, we are going to tackle the big one, the real truth about cholesterol. Okay, let's be real. 5 eggs a day, that's more than 150 eggs in a month. And I know the first thing that pops into most people's heads is, isn't that incredibly dangerous for my heart? I mean, for decades, we've been told eggs are basically a cardiovascular time bomb just waiting to go off. But just look at this. A massive study, we're talking over 500,000 people, found the exact opposite. The people who ate eggs every single day actually had fewer heart attacks than the people who avoided them. It kind of makes you wonder if the story we've been fed all these years has been completely backward. So here's that crucial piece of the puzzle I mentioned. Before we even get into week 1, you need to know this. Not all eggs are created equal. In fact, the type of egg you choose will literally determine whether this whole experiment works or if it fails completely. And this has nothing to do with taste. It's all about chemistry. Look, don't get fooled by slick marketing labels like cage-free or free-range. As you can see, a lot of the time, that just means chickens are crammed into a warehouse instead of a cage. The term you are looking for, the only one that really matters, is pasture-raised. These are chickens that live outside, on grass, eating bugs, under the sun, like chickens are supposed to. And that lifestyle completely changes the nutrition in the egg, giving you way more vitamin D, more omega-3s, and a deep, vibrant orange yolk, not that pale yellow stuff. All right, let's start the clock on week 1. The very first thing you're going to notice, probably within a day or two, is that your constant hunger and nagging cravings just disappear. And this isn't you suddenly developing amazing willpower. This is just pure biology taking over. You see, most of us start our day on this insane blood sugar roller coaster. You eat some cereal or a bagel, and bam, your blood sugar shoots up. Your pancreas panics and floods your system with insulin to deal with it. But it overcorrects, your sugar crashes, and suddenly you're starving again, desperate for another carb fix. It's a vicious cycle. 5 eggs completely get you off that ride. They have almost zero impact on your blood sugar. Instead, you're getting this perfect ratio, about 30 grams of high-quality protein and 25 grams of healthy fat. This combination stabilizes everything and sends these powerful I'm full signals straight to your brain, keeping your energy steady for hours. Those cravings just get silenced. Okay, now we're moving into week 2, and this is where the effects start to get really cool. The changes start becoming mental. You'll begin to feel a very real, very noticeable difference right between your ears. We're talking about a genuine upgrade to your mental operating system. And it's all thanks to a powerhouse nutrient called choline. Now, choline is absolutely essential for brain function. But guess what? Most people are walking around deficient in it. Your brain uses it to make acetylcholine, which is the key neurotransmitter for learning, memory, and concentration. You know that feeling of brain fog? That's what low acetylcholine feels like. Well, 5 eggs deliver a massive dose, somewhere between 600 and 700 milligrams of choline. You're not just topping off your tank, you're flooding your brain with the raw materials it needs to literally rebuild and fire on all cylinders. People who do this often describe it as feeling like the fog has finally lifted. And it doesn't stop with your brain. Those beautiful deep orange yolks from pasture-raised eggs are packed with 2 antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. Get this, they actually accumulate in your retinas and act like a pair of internal sunglasses, protecting your eyes from all the blue light damage we get from staring at our screens all day. Welcome to week 3. Let's talk about muscle. That 30 grams of protein you're getting from the eggs is not the same as the 30 grams you'd get from chugging a protein shake. It is fundamentally different, and frankly, it's far, far superior. This chart right here shows you exactly why. It's a measure called net nitrogen utilization, which is just a fancy science term for how much of this protein can my body actually use to build and repair itself. And look at the difference. Soy and whey protein powders, they hover down around 17 to 20%. But whole eggs, they're way up there at almost 50%. Your body can use nearly half of every single gram of protein. It's pretty much the most efficient protein source on the planet. And this is exactly why the whole egg whites only craze was so completely misguided. The moment you throw away the yolk, you destroy the protein's value. The fat and all the other nutrients in that yolk are what help your body absorb and use the protein correctly. They buffer the insulin response, which means you get to stay in a muscle-building state without your body getting the signal to store fat. All right, it's time. Week 4. We have to face the biggest myth of them all, cholesterol. This is where we finally tear down the decades of fear and bad science that have surrounded this incredible food for way too long. So yes, 5 eggs have about 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol. And I know, compared to the old, outdated dietary guidelines, that number sounds absolutely massive. It's the number that makes people clutch their chests. But now, I want you to compare that number to this one, your own liver. It makes up to 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day, all by itself. Why would it do that? Because cholesterol isn't a villain, it's essential for life. It's what your body uses to build your cells, your brain, and your hormones. And your body is incredibly smart. When you eat more cholesterol, your liver just makes less. It's a self-regulating system. So here's the big misunderstanding, the metaphor that changes everything. We've been blaming the ambulance for the car crash. Cholesterol is the ambulance. It shows up at the site of inflammation in your arteries to try and repair the damage. It's the first responder, not the one causing the accident in the first place. And even the story we hear about bad LDL cholesterol is way too simple. It turns out there are different types. There are small, dense LDL particles, and those are the ones that can cause trouble. But there are also large, fluffy LDL particles that are basically harmless. And here's the amazing part. The healthy fats and nutrients in pasture-raised eggs actually help your body shift its cholesterol profile away from the dangerous small particles and towards the safe, fluffy kind, so they actually reduce your real risk. But listen, you can ruin all of these incredible benefits if you cook your eggs the wrong way. Blasting them on high heat oxidizes the cholesterol and destroys all those delicate nutrients. The secret is low and slow. Add some grass-fed butter to a pan, keep the heat down, and stir them gently. You want to take them off the heat when they're still a little glossy and wet. The goal is a creamy, custard-like texture, not dry, rubbery clumps. So there you have it. After a month of this, you haven't just been eating a different breakfast. You've been sending brand new signals to your DNA, signals to build, repair, and thrive. You've recalibrated your hormones and literally rebuilt parts of your brain. You've changed the fundamental instructions that your body is running on. So the only real question left is, how are you going to cook your eggs tomorrow morning? Soft-boiled or scrambled?